Um, so okay, you had a golden year, which I would say was 1959.
Yes.
But basically, during your career, you reached the semi-finals of all the Grand Slam tournaments, and you obviously reached the final of Wimbledon. But in 1959, you won a Grand Slam.
And reached the final of the US.
Indeed. So, can you tell us about the French Championships of 1959, please?
Well, the clay court season hadn't been a success for me in the past 2 years, at 16 and 17. I found it difficult to adjust, and I was lucky enough to go on the Caribbean tour in the January of 1959, and Jaroslav Drobny was there playing doubles. His sort of tennis days were over in a way, but he said, you know, if I wanted some help before the clay court season, he'd be volunteered to help me prepare, and he did. And that really was the reason that I won, because rather than just going and hitting and hoping on clay the same way I would on any other surface, or grass, which was mainly where the Grand Slams were, it was a different style of play, and I had to use my game to advantage and use my strengths. And he made me very much aware of the width of the court, the length of the court, and not always just to hit deep, to hit short as well, and to come into net on a short shot rather than to the baseline, where the baseliners were waiting, because it was basically, the clay court season was made up of brilliant baseline players. And all those tips and practice, we practiced for hours trying to hit targets, which I found very hard, and he hadn't a lot of patience, but that was good because it made me work at it. And I didn't believe I could hit the ball to the T-junction or to the baseline, but in fact it's strange how you can, if you work at it, become more accurate. And so when I went to Rome, I felt prepared. I felt I had a plan, I felt I'd worked and practiced for it, and you need a bit of luck along the way. And Maria Bueno, whom I never beat in a Grand Slam, much to my annoyance, she couldn't beat Sandra Reynolds, the South African #1, and the draw had her playing Sandra Reynolds, and so Sandra Reynolds beat Bueno for me, and then I never lost to Sandra Reynolds. So that was my bit of luck. I played Sandra in the final and won very easily. And then went on to Paris. Oh, I went to Lugano in Switzerland, and I won that. But Bueno wasn't there, and it wasn't such a strong tournament, but it was still kept me on a roll, kept me winning, and carried on to Paris by train, no less, overnight, and started again in Paris. And again the draw came out, and who did Bueno have to play but Sandra Reynolds in the quarterfinals? And so Sandra beat Maria Bueno again, and then I beat Sandra in the semi-finals with Yul Brynner watching, which was a great highlight for me. And then I played Susie Komoxy, the defending champion, in the final, and she, as I say, was one of these renowned baseline players, very accurate, very fit, but I still, with a knack of winning and a knack of losing, I'd certainly found a knack of winning in that month, and won the French.
That was a fantastic achievement, and must have buoyed your confidence enormously.
Yes, as I say, success is very motivating. It made all the practice and the hard work all worthwhile, and not only that, but you wanted to get better. You wanted to do more, and I never had that difficult stage of thinking at 17, 18, am I doing the right thing? Should I have made this decision? Should I be playing tennis? It worked.